A rain garden acts like a native forest by holding, absorbing, and filtering stormwater runoff from roofs, driveways, patios, and other impervious surfaces. This water carries oil, fertilizers, pesticides, sediment, and other pollution. Rain gardens are simply saucer-shaped gardens that can be designed and sized to fit your yard. They are constructed with soil mixes that support healthy plant growth while slowly filtering out many pollutants as the water soaks into the ground.
One of the things that's important about a rain garden is that you site it correctly. There are a number of don'ts in building a rain garden. First of all, you don't put it over any utilities, and you need to call before you start digging to make sure there are no utilities there. Don't put it close to the foundation of a house. Don't put it over the drain field of your septic tank. When you're building a rain garden, the size of the rain garden will depend upon the impermeable area or the area where the runoff is coming from that you're going to use. If you're going to use the roof and your driveway, you need to measure both of those. You can take an estimate on your roof both ways and just multiply the square footage. Then take 20 to 30% of that square footage and do the math, and that's the size your garden will have to be in square footage. One of the important things about siting the rain garden is also the soil and the perk test, and I'll go into that later. The type of soil is very important as far as the depth that you put your rain garden. It can be as little as 18 inches, or it might be as much as 30 inches.
Watch.
Two types of compost are used, but neither one should have any manure content. Manure-based composts tend to result in rapid plant growth, which can result in winter kill. Coarse compost, composed primarily of wood waste, is mixed with the soil. This promotes slow, healthy growth and also binds and neutralizes pollutants in the stormwater. For a neater look, more finished compost or bark mulch is layered on top of the rain garden.
Plants and the soil in a rain garden work together. They filter pollutants from stormwater, and the plant roots have the special function of keeping the soil loose and porous so water will readily infiltrate. There's 5 important considerations when you're selecting plants for your rain garden. The amount of moisture the plants will tolerate, the sun and shade requirements for your plants. The plants need to be able to grow without additional fertilizer. They need to be disease and pest resistant. And they also need to be selected with an eye to how your rain garden will fit into your total landscape. Native plants are an excellent choice for your rain garden, but they're not the only option. The advantage of native plants is that over time we've studied them, and so we know their exact requirements for soil, moisture, and sun to shade exposure. Native plants have the added benefit that they provide food and shelter for our native bees, birds, and butterflies. Rain gardens have 3 distinct zones. I'm standing in the lowest level of the rain garden, and we refer to this as Zone 1. In Zone 1, plants have to be able to tolerate being underwater for short periods of time during the rainy season, and then at our dry end of the summer, they have to be drought tolerant. This is the most difficult area of the rain garden to select plants for because of the extremes of those 2 conditions. And then the second zone, Zone 2, is the slope coming out of the rain garden. Zone 2 plants are like plants in a riparian zone along a creek. Their roots may be down into saturated soil, but their tops are very seldom going to be underwater. And then when we climb out of Zone 2, we get into the rain garden's uplands. Zone 3 plants generally prefer drier environment, and so we have a wider range of plants to pick from. And this works really well when you're integrating your rain garden into an existing landscape, because Zone 3 can be the transition zone from rain garden to the rest of your landscape.
Rain gardens are not the only way to slow and clean stormwater at home. Some other options that can be used either separately or in conjunction with rain gardens are: build your soil with compost, mulch beds annually with wood chips, leaves, or compost, plant trees to slow and clean rainfall. Don't use chemical pesticides or herbicides. Try natural alternatives like insecticidal soap, or choose naturally pest-resistant garden plants. Fertilize moderately. Capture roof runoff into rain barrels or redirect downspouts to spread the water over your landscape.